The group was led by a young man named Igor Dyatlov, just 23 years old, with a love for the crisp mountain air. He and his 8 friends were students at the Ural Polytechnical Institute, bright minds studying engineering, physics, and the wonders of the world. They were not reckless. They were prepared. Woolen gloves, thick coats, sturdy boots. They knew the mountains could be unforgiving, but they also knew their own strength. Before leaving, they packed careful tins of stew, dried bread, a small paraffin stove for warmth. They laughed as they checked their gear, their breath forming little clouds in the frosty air. One of them, Zina, had even brought a camera, capturing moments of their journey. Snow-laden trees, the quiet glow of a campfire, their smiling faces flushed with cold. On the 23rd of January, they boarded a train to the tiny settlement of Vishaita, last outpost before the wilderness. From there, they would ski for days, through silent forests and over frozen rivers, toward Otorten Mountain. A challenging trek, yes, but one they had trained for. Little did they know, their journey would become a mystery whispered about for decades to come. By the 31st of January, they had made their way up the slopes of Kholat Syakhlth, Mountain of the Dead, as the local Mansi people called it, a name that, in hindsight, would seem eerily fitting. But that evening, as the sun dipped below the peaks, the hikers felt only excitement. They pitched their tent on a gentle slope, hammering the stakes into the hard-packed snow. The air was cold, yes, but their spirits were warm. Inside the tent, they huddled together, sharing stories and passing around a flask of tea. One of them, Rustam, scribbled in his diary, "The wind is picking up, but we are safe here. Tomorrow, we reach the summit." Little did they know, this would be their last night together. Outside, the stars glittered like scattered diamonds. The northern lights, perhaps, danced faintly on the horizon. The mountain was silent, save for the occasional creak of settling snow. A peaceful night by all accounts, until something no one knows what made them leave in a hurry. When the hikers failed to send their expected telegram, worry set in. By late February, search teams were scouring the mountains. On the 26th, they found the tent collapsed, half buried in snow, and slit open from the inside. Strange, yes, but not as strange as what came next. Footprints led away from the tent, some barefoot, others in socks. The searchers followed them down the slope, their own breath heavy in the cold. Near a cedar tree, they found the first 2 bodies, Yuri and Zina, curled together as if for warmth. Their faces were peaceful, as though they had simply fallen asleep in the snow. Further on, 3 more were found, Luda, Rustam, and Kolya. Their clothes were torn, their hands frostbitten. And then, months later, the final 4 were discovered in a ravine, their injuries more severe. Broken ribs, a missing tongue, yet no signs of a struggle, no animal tracks, just silence. Over the years, many have tried to solve this mystery. Some say it was an avalanche, a sudden rush of snow that forced them to flee. Others whisper of secret military tests, of strange lights in the sky. A few even speak of infrasound, a silent vibration from the wind that can make the mind unravel. But perhaps the truth is simpler. Perhaps it was just a terrible accident, a series of small mistakes that led to tragedy. The mountains are beautiful, yes, but they are also indifferent. They do not care for our plans, our hopes. They simply are. And so, the Dyatlov Pass remains a quiet mystery, a story told in hushed tones around campfires, a reminder that even in our modern age, some questions have no answers. And now, dear listener, as the embers of this story fade, let your mind wander like those lost footprints in the snow. Perhaps you dream of silent forests, of starlit mountains, of mysteries half remembered, or perhaps you simply drift away into the quiet embrace of sleep. Good night and sweet dreams.